A good day. I was going to say good evening, but I want to say good day. I want to welcome you to episode 3 of Reset to Reinvent podcast. I am so excited. Now, many of you who have already seen episodes 1 and 2, you got a chance to hear just me. It was just me and giving you a chance to learn me and get to know me just a little bit. But I tell you what, we are going to have a conversation tonight with a woman that I've known for a long time. As a matter of fact, I can't even remember when we met, but we've known each other a long time. And many of you know her, but I tell you what, there might be one or two people out there that may not know who she is. But before we get through, I guarantee you're going to know her and love her just like everybody on the planet does. And so, you know what? I don't want to take any more time. Okay, I want to introduce to some and present to others Dr. Deanna Brown Thomas. I want to welcome you to our podcast today, Deanna.
Thank you so much for having me, Helen. I am so happy to be here. And first, congratulations. Congratulations to you for doing this. It's not easy. It's the new thing in radio kind of speaking, and I did almost 20 years in radio. So to make sure you got the right tools and the right elements together and everything is work. So I commend you and I wish you God's blessings. I know you're going to be great because you got the gift of gab, and that's pretty much what you need.
Definitely that gift of gab. Absolutely. And so, first of all, let's do this just in case, they're looking, no, obviously they see the picture in the background. Okay. So let's just start off, Deanna, talking a little bit about who you are and who you're associated with. And let's start there and then we'll go from there with this conversation today.
I guess I'm having a little hard time hearing. I'm sorry. Just repeat that last part. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, what I'd like for you to do is just share a little bit about yourself and who you are and who you're associated with. I know people can see the picture in the background, but I want you to just share a little bit about Dr. Deanna Brown Thomas.
Gotcha. Yes, ma'am. Well, you just gave them my name, and I am one of the younger daughters of the Godfather of Soul, the late Mr. James Brown. As you see, why I have him back here. And he was born in Barnwell County in South Carolina, and passed away Christmas Day, 2006. So therefore, 1933 and to 2006. I am also president of the James Brown Family Foundation, founder of the James Brown Academy of Music Pupils, and which we call JAMP, and also founder of the James Brown Family Historical Tour, which is a tour that we do, bus tour that we do every Saturday in Augusta. And it takes you around to show you different important places that pertain to my dad's life, where he went to school, where he grew up, where we lived, where he had businesses, and you get to see beautiful Augusta, Georgia. So that's we do that every Saturday, and you can always Google our foundation, James Brown Family Foundation, to really see what we do. And we're on Facebook and Instagram, so you can, if you're a social media person, you can find us there as well. So basically, I'm married. I have a son and a grandson, and a daughter-in-law. So I have a little family going on. My husband and I are business owners in the Augusta area. And we've been doing that for, my goodness, well over 25 years in the area. And I, you know, basically by day, by night, I am a person who runs that foundation, pretty much kind of stay on top of what each program is doing to make sure that the direction is going in the direction it should. But my baby is JAMP, James Brown Academy of Music Pupils, where I get to work with students and teaching them. I don't teach, but I have a musical director, and I'm getting to how you and how you are a part of a large part of JAMP, Helen. Just to remind you, so we've been doing this for 14 years. So after school program and summer, 6 weeks in the summer, and we've been doing this for 14 years. This summer will be 15 years, and the last 11 years has been, our musical director has been Daniel Sapp. He is a singer, songwriter, producer, and he's also a three-time Grammy nominated music educator. And he's also the production director at Perry Broadcasting. And it was you, Helen, who told him to contact us and see if he could do something with us. Dub is what they called him, Dub, back in the day. And you told him to contact us, and he did. And that young man has been a blessing to the program and to every child that he has taught. He has been a blessing to me and my family and to this community. So you never know what you could be doing. But because you did that, Helen, he has been with us since. And he has truly connected and taught a lot to our students. It has been a true blessing. So we thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. And you know what? I completely forgot. I forgot that, but I just knew that he was and is one of the most talented young brothers that I've ever met. And I think I had recently seen Jamp perform. And I think that's what made me think, you know what, oh, these kids, I said you will love them, you can be a blessing. And look how 14, 15 years ago. Oh my goodness. Um,
Yes, and so it's great when people can connect and help one another, because you're not just helping that person, but you're helping the community, investing into the community as well by just connecting him with us.
that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And so you all just the jam just recently performed. I know the location has been the Augusta Museum of History for years. Now I haven't seen them in a minute, and I know you got a whole new cast now of young people because 14 years ago, they're graduated and they're in high school, they're in college, and
Oh no, they didn't graduate from college. They didn't graduate from college again. They didn't got married. They didn't have children. Oh honey, yeah.
now what is so interesting is how um how do they go through an audition? Because how do you transform, okay, especially the lead James Brown, right? How do you find these young people? How do you and your team, you see what I'm saying? I mean, because
You know, it's really amazing because when parents and young kids see the kids perform, they kind of get like, "Oh, wow!" It's like, they want to. They see another kid doing something, they want to try it too. Um, but honestly, when they come, we'll audition them. We'll let them, audition so we can see where they are. But that's the magic that Mr. Sapp has. He can teach at any level. I mean, he's taught as young as 3. We've had him as young as 3 years old, and all the way up to 12th grade. So, I mean, he can teach as long as you are teachable. He can teach you. And the way that we do our program, it's not just about music, Helen. We are about the whole child. I have, we mentor. I've taken kids to go get haircuts. Taught them how to drive. took them out to look for prom dresses, took them out to, different, get a job application. We do a lot. It's not just about them learning music. It's about the whole child. And I believe that that's very important, especially today. You may find some kids not getting certain things from home. And not to say there's bad parents, there are, but to say that sometimes parents are busy just trying to make a living, and stressed out with just trying to do that alone. Keep food on the table, keep roof over the head, and sometimes some things maybe go lacking, but not, purposefully. So I'm just happy that we are able to do this. This is a gift from God to be able to do it, and He has certainly provided us the means. Now we are a grassroots up, you know, foundation. We thrive on small donations and large donations and grants. And the parents do pay a small tuition. We do give scholarships. But what I know that what we are doing is changing lives, because my father said you put an instrument in a child's hand, you'll make a miracle happen. You'll change that child's life, and we see that. So that's the goal. The goal is to be a bright light, another avenue for a young child to come and see. And those young ones that you remember that we're talking about are grown and gone and doing their thing, they're all doing well. They're all doing good. And some of them even come back, and work with the kids. And that means a lot. That means a lot. So, and I got young girls, they want to be, oh, I want to play the drums like Samantha, and so that makes you feel good, because they saw something positive to want to be like.
Yes, yes. So, so Deanna, let's go back a little bit. Now, this podcast is about empowering. It is designed for women. It is, but obviously men are listening and will watch as well. But empowering women to rebuild and thrive after life's toughest challenges, and the way we're doing that is by providing inspiration and guidance and actionable strategies so that they can be resilient with their lives. And I know that you have had, I mean, just over the years, let's just say prior to, I'm not too sure of any major challenges you may have had prior to your father passing away, but certainly can we agree that you've had to, from time to time, reinvent yourself in a way that you can be able to continue to cope even in the midst of whatever, because you're in the public eye always anyway. So when you think of, I want to ask you this, and I think I want to ask all of my guests this. When you think about the topic of our podcast, reset to reinvent, what comes to your mind, Deanna?
I have heart disease, and I almost died October 1st, 2020.
What?
Yes, yes. And right now, I wear a defibrillator, and I have to wear that defibrillator for the rest of my life.
Jeez.
Like, being the daughter of, being the wife, being a business person, being a mother, and, having just living life, especially after my dad passed and doing what all of it needed to be done. And all of that, I guess it just caught up with me. Um, Not always eating correctly, thinking that you are, but you're not. um, and maybe drinking a little more wine than should be. I know that after my dad passed, I did that, but I didn't pulled away from it. I didn't, drink as much, but with all of that going on, I experienced congestive heart failure on October 1st, 2020. And I can tell you right now, my life is different. I have changed. My life changed when my father passed, things that I had to get used to doing and get used to dealing with, like you say, in the public eye, um, and dealing with his estate issues. But then when I had the congestive heart failure, which is what he passed away with on December 25th, 2006. When I had that, yeah, when I had that, I realized, you know, change must take place. I had to make changes. God saved me. So my thank you was to make changes. That's my reset. That's a true reset. Almost die. Almost lose life. God give it to you and don't let you go. You got to show him a thank you. And the only thank you that I could show him was to make changes. Not just what I eat, where I go, what I do, all of it. Because it's not just about your body. It's more about spiritual. It's about your soul. It's about your spirit. That is what's going to help your mind and your body. So I tightened up my relationship with God, got more into his word, and I wanted to know more about Deanna. I wanted to make sure I understood who Deanna was. So to do that, I got to talk to the creator who made Deanna.
Who made Deanna?
So that's my reset, reinvest, because that one there was the real deal. And it's so funny, Helen, because when I'm asked to come do speeches, it's like, so last couple of times I had to kind of check myself, like, what can I talk about? God had to remind me, I saved you. Talk about that. Talk about the fact that you can change your life and make changes. I just recently was on a panel at Columbia County Health Fair with Dr. Mac Bowman, one of the best cardiologists in the country, and he's right here in Augusta, Georgia. And I was on a panel with him. He was the expert, and I was the survivor, talking about the changes that I made, taking black seed oil now, using sea moss, drinking ginger and turmeric tea every morning, and taking elderberry and zinc and vitamin C and vitamin D, making those changes and changing what I eat. And, I don't drink alcohol anymore. October 1st, 2020 was the last day I had a sip of wine. I haven't even had any, and just making all kinds of changes. Now, it took time. This is 2025. I did that over the time period, but I had to do it, and I did it. I guess it was what the main thing that I had to do was to pray for the willpower to do it, the strength to do it, the mindset to do it. Because once we put our mind to it, we'll get it done.
Absolutely. And that mindset is I mean that's the tipping point for everything. And if we don't get our mindset, because you said you almost died. Now, were you at home? Were you out? Were you in another state? Was there any warning? Because you look amazing, okay? You
So
look like what you've been through, as people like to say. So where were you
I was
at?
at my office. I was at
Okay.
my office, and I started feeling a tightening in the chest, and I started sweating profusely. I was just, water was just coming down. So I went to the restroom. You know what grandmama used to say, you ain't got nothing but some gas. So I wanted to see if that's what it was, right? So I went to the ladies' room and it was not that. So I went back to my desk and said, maybe I just need to go home. Maybe this is God saying, slow down, you know. So I got in the car, called my sorority sister, and I was like, what I was telling her, what I was feeling. And I says, I'm going to go home and lay down. She's like, no, no. She says, go to the hospital and get an EKG. We got to see what's going on in your chest. You got to get yourself checked. I'm like, girl, I need to just lay down. That's what I need to do. She's like, no, Deanna, don't do that. Go to the hospital. Thank God she pushed me to do that, because had I went home to lay down, I very well probably not have gotten back up. Because when I went to the emergency room, Helen, and they did the test on me, my heart was functioning only at 10%.
10%. Mm, mm, mm.
10% is basically 50% death, 50% life.
Right.
It could have gone either way at any second.
Mm. Wow. So yeah, that is definitely a reset, Deanna. And 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 with that said, with your students with JAMP, I mean, they must have been, I don't know how much they knew, let's just say early on, but certainly you're already bigger than life in their eyes. So the fact that you can say, hey, look, I survived death and I'm here, working, and see your fervor and your passion has always been there, but now it's on a different level. Wouldn't you agree? It's a different level of passionate, energy about what you're doing, about life and everything that you touch. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yes, yes. When those types of things happen in your life, you certainly begin to reevaluate you. And if you're smart, you reset and reinvent, because you got to listen to what God is saying.
Yeah.
I had to listen to what he was saying. Obviously, what I was doing, I needed to make changes with everything from A to Z. Not just one thing, not just a few things. I needed to make changes. And everybody's not may not understand what you have to do for you. But understand that when God gives you a calling, because JAMP is certainly my calling. When he gives you a calling, you got to go. And you may have to leave some folk behind that you truly love and care for. But the call was not a conference call. He called you and you alone. You got to go. JAMP is my passion. And what we have embarked on now and what we're about to do now, it's even got my mother in tears. My mom is just like so overwhelmed when I told her what we were about to do.
So, since you were on that, let's talk about what you are getting ready, what you and Jam and Dub, Daniel Sapp, and your whole team are about to do. I am, and I'm going to tell you, not only did I want you to be my first guest, it was along the same time that I saw on LinkedIn or Facebook somewhere about where they were going, the Apollo deal, and them and all of that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so exciting. So tell the audience, tell our listeners what that's all about. Oh.
So we we submitted for JAMP to audition for the child performance part of Amateur Night at the Apollo. So the children would be ages 5 to 17.
Okay.
And they got selected. They loved the audition, the virtual audition, and they were selected. And we did it, huh?
I said, but of course, but of course.
Well, we did it the right way. I didn't, try to get the hookup because of who I am, because, that would be the first thing people would say. Oh, she's James Brown's daughter. No, we did it because these kids are talented and the people love them. We did it the right way. So they got selected, and they will be part of Amateur Night at the Apollo show May 14th. Because they're going to do so well, we're going to be able to go back June 11th. And when they do so well on the second run, we're going to go back for the finale because I plan for my babies to win. And the historical thing about this, Helen, was that in 1962, the Godfather of Soul, Mr. James Brown, made Live at the Apollo. 63 years later, these students from Augusta, Georgia, will be representing him, representing 7 Richmond County schools, 1 Aiken County school, 8 different families from the CSRA, and they will be representing themselves as well. So we are very thankful and so happy that we are getting this opportunity. Parents are going, and if anybody is going to see this before May 14th, if you in the New York area, please go get some tickets at apollotheater.org, because the way that they gauge who the winner is they use a scream monitor. So whoever gets the loudest screams win. So I need some real, I need some screamers.
Absolutely. We want some big mouths up in there that night. That
For
is,
sure.
yeah, absolutely. That is. So do me a favor, share with us the website, because I'm sure there's expenses. Okay. So share with us, how can people, they may not be able to be there on May the 14th, okay, in the audience. They'll be there in prayer, but we want a little bit more than prayer. So share with my audience, Deanna, how can people help? How can people help, and where do they need to go to do that?
Well, you can go to the website. The website is jamesbrownfamilyfdn.org. Just Google James Brown Family Foundation. And you can go to the website and click the donate button. Or if you got PayPal, the Brown Family Children Foundation, we're there, as well as Cash App. You can Cash App us as well, JBFF JAMP, JAMP, JBFF JAMP. So those are ways that you could donate. And we're very thankful for those who have already donated and for those who will help, because we want to make this a memorable experience for the kids. We got to buy flights, we got to get hotels, and New York ain't cheap. And we are staying in a nice hotel that's going to be safe and secure for the kids, and we want to make sure that they enjoy themselves. So all of the donations that we can receive, no amount is too small, would be appreciative and very helpful. And again, thank you to those who have already supported. So, this is something that's really, like I said, my mom is really excited about it, because she's like, "Oh boy, this is really something." It's almost, she's like, I feel like I'm doing this all over again."
1962. Wow. So how are you and your team keeping these young people in their head? I mean, they've got to be losing their minds about right now, their children. So how are you keeping them focused and
you
grounded?
know,
Because this is a big deal.
it is, and they're excited to go to New York. They are young. They're all 17, ages between 6 and 17. So they know Apollo is important. But honey, the parents and the grandparents are more excited than they are. The kids are kind of really cool and laid back, like, "Oh yeah, we're going to New York, going to Apollo." And the parents and the grandparents are the ones that are going, stark raving mad about this, because of course they understand the history. So I believe that the kids will really be, years down the road, they'll be able to look back and be able to share with their family, children, friends, or whatever, the experience that they have. I mean, we took our older ones to the Apollo. They did a tour. They didn't perform, but they did see it. Samantha and all of them, they did see it. So we did take them, and they got a special tour by Mr. Apollo. And so the experience that we've been able to impart on the students. You know, we had students when we first took them to Chicago, Jada High and Samantha and all of them back in 2013. They opened up for Prince at the United Center. And some of them even had the opportunity to get on stage and dance with Prince. So they have had some wonderful opportunities. They opened up for Tom Joyner's family reunion one year in Orlando, Florida. Just awesome opportunities that we've been able to give them and meet artists that they love. You know, the Clark sisters, or just all types of artists that they've been able to meet and share stages with. You know, so it's a blessing to the children, to their families, and to the community, in my opinion. And it's what is, of course, it's a blessing to my father's legacy.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, your dad's looking down saying, "That's my girl. That's my girl."
I hope so.
And of course, the name of your organization. This I want to touch on this because from your website it says the children of James Brown are dedicated to honoring your father's memory. And so, even the name of the foundation, James Brown Family Foundation, there had to have been a lot of thoughts, or maybe not, on naming the foundation, because it could have been James Brown Foundation, but it's James
Well,
Brown
it's
Family
us.
Foundation.
Yeah. Well, me and my sister, Dr. Yama Brown, we definitely came together, you know, and decided this is what we wanted to do because, as you know, Helen, being from Augusta area, Dad always did the James Brown turkey giveaway and toy giveaway. That was one of the first questions that I got when he passed away was, uh, are you all going to continue the turkey giveaway? And that's when I knew that it was a real need. It wasn't just about an event that my dad, you know, did. It was something that he realized because he was once one of those people who didn't have food in the house. You know, he didn't come from the life that he gave that I come from, that I was born into. He was very poor. My grandparents were very poor. So we knew that we had to continue doing that. And then within that, we just, you know, we came up with the James Brown Academy of Music Pupils, and that's when I started that because I realized we got to do a little bit more. Not that food insecurity and making sure kids have something joy that would never have joy, you know, during the holidays is not important. But we wanted it to really, really, really have something else. And I knew the music education was very important to my father because he wasn't awarded that opportunity. What the what you all got, you got from a gift from God that gave him. He wasn't able to go to school and learn how to read music. You know, that's a gift from God that the rest of the world got to enjoy through him. And you know, people always say, "What was it like growing up?" His daughter. Well, you know, Papa, y'all heard the song "Papa Don't Take No Mess." Well, I lived it. That's why I wrote the musical Papa Didn't Take No Mess and did a musical just past October in Atlanta about growing up brown in my dad's life and never before told stories in this musical. So just yeah, we did that. So we working on doing some other stuff before you ask. We working. It's gonna come back around.
Good, good. Well, we're not going to reveal everything that's going on. People just want to stay tuned to what's going on with Dr. Deanna Brown Thomas, and certainly share your website again with us, Deanna. Share your website address.
JamesBrown.org. JamesBrownFamilyFDN.org. And of course, I said we're on Facebook, both the tour, JAMP, as well as the foundation. And we're on Instagram as well as Twitter. I still call it Twitter.
Oh, yep, that's right. Exactly, exactly. Well, I'm going to make a point of when we when I'm going to make a point of because I don't think I am. I believe we're Facebook friends, but I don't think I am with your organization. So I'm going to make a point of doing that so that I can share that information out there as well, just through my, just through my network. Because I definitely, I'm sorry that I missed the latest performance of JAMP. That was recently, and I missed it. I mean, I missed it. I heard about it when I watched it on the news at night, and I'm like, oh wow. So that has been the location, as far as I can remember, the Augusta Museum of History, where JAMP, where you have the performances. Well, that particular staple has
For
been
being here
recently.
in Augusta.
Yeah, the one that you perform at they perform at the Augusta Museum of History.
Yes, at the
That
Augusta Museum of
that's where
History,
you are
because
located.
I'm on the board of directors there, but also that's where the largest exhibit of my father is as well. There's a huge exhibit of my dad there, and a lot of memorabilia there from his home and from different people that is there. So that is the reason that we have it, and that's where we have our classes at the museum. It's a safe, centralized location for those who come, whether they're in Augusta or Aiken, to come. And it's been very, very good to have a classroom right next to his exhibit. It's like we're right there with his spirit.
Oh,
Yes.
that is now. See, that's a perfect marriage. And then when people come, they get a chance to go and
Yes,
see,
yes. I mean, in the
see the
summertime we have a scavenger hunt, so
performances.
they got to go around and find different things. Make them check it out.
Nice. That is so nice. Well, Deanna, here's what I'd like to do. The name of my podcast is Reset to Reinvent. You have shared a lot about your life, your having to reset. Is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience about you, your dad, what's going on with Champ? Anything to encourage our listeners, in particular women, because women, we go through stuff, and share whatever's on your heart to, as we wrap up today's episode.
I will encourage women. Well, first of all, from what my father came from, he had to always reinvent himself. He had to always make it work for him because he didn't have the education. We are in a time now when women are presidents of the United States. Okay. We we are business owners. We are household runners. We are spiritual guiders. We are baby birthers. We are wives, daughters, granddaughters. We are aunties. We are all these things in one body, in one soul, in one spiritual body. I encourage women to keep this keep this three things close to you, because we are everything to everybody.
Okay.
Everything to everybody. We give more than we take as women. So just remember this, and don't take it to be arrogant or selfish, because at some point, if you don't, you'll lose yourself. Me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I. Those three people. Me, myself, and I. Three in one. Nurture me, myself, and I. Nourish me, myself, and I. Top tier for me is self care.
wasn't expecting those 3 points to be I, myself, and I, me, myself, and I, but they are, you are you are spot on because you're right. We will be everything for everybody. And at the end of the day, we're the one that's sick. We're the one that's having to do more than what more than what we are should, because that's just who we are, what we do. That's innate in us as women. So yeah, I like that. I like that. And the self care, obviously a person doesn't have to have the shocker of your life like you did October 1, 2020, but hopefully watching this, it will be a wake up call for them to say, watching or listening to this podcast, they will say, you know what? Ooh, yeah. Let me slow up. Let me do some things for me. Let me listen to what Deanna said in this episode. And that's what we want to do. If we can impact someone by listening or watching this, if we can just reach one, reach one to make an impact, then we've done what we needed to do here today. So I just want to thank you so much. Now, of course, I'm going to have to find you out there one day. I'm going to have to make a point of being somewhere where I know you are so that I can get a hug because it's been a minute. It has been a minute, but you look amazing. You sound amazing. I'm so happy for you and what's going on, and definitely we're going to be promoting the May 11th, the May 14th
Thank you.
deal with JAMP. Absolutely, absolutely, guys. Once again, you're so welcome, Deanna. Thank you so much for joining us, and let my audience know that Deanna was my very first guest. She was my very first guest, and I couldn't have been
You're
happier
welcome. And I wish you the best with the podcast. I'm pretty sure that you're going to get down and dirty because that's what we need.
Oh, right. Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, everybody, hey, I want to let you know that you guys have been an amazing audience today, and I look forward to seeing you in episode 4. But all I can say is, I hope that you will use this information that you have gotten here today with Dr. Deanna Brown Thomas and say, you know what, I'm going to do some self care. I'm going to focus on me, myself, and I, and watch all of our lives change. So until next time, everybody, I love you, my Reset to Reinvent family. Peace.
Today's episode of Reset to Reinvent podcast